does it mean to you to be, in this position, and what's the season been like up to this point for you?
What it means to me, well, I'm obviously very excited and very honored because I know a lot of high jumpers in the country don't get this kind of opportunity. So I'm very excited, very, very. I would say kind of up until this point, we've just been kind of practicing like once or twice a week. Really, honestly surprising how I have not had much practice and I've surprised myself, I would say. I think a lot of it has to do with my strength training, and I've just become stronger. But yeah.
You didn't get to compete last year because volleyball was moved, right?
Right. So last year we had volleyball in the spring, and then the year before that, obviously before outdoor even started, we all got sent home. So I haven't been able to jump for a while.
What's it been like kind of getting back into the swing of things with that? And, did you ever consider not doing it, or was it always going to happen again?
No, I definitely always wanted to do it. So I was really excited this year to be able to have an opportunity to, it's kind of my senior year, and I was just excited to get back into it, and I do love high jump, so yeah, I was just really excited.
Katie, how did you transition from going from volleyball right to the track and field right after?
It's really not as hard as you might think. We're still doing spring season right now for volleyball, so I'm still training with the volleyball team, and I practice for track once or twice a week. So it's a pretty smooth transition, honestly, and high jump doesn't take a ton of time out of my week, and so I can still be focused on both, which is great.
Now, when you broke it the first time, I mean, you probably were surprised, but after you broke it the first time, did you think that you were going to a second time where you determined to break again?
Honestly, no. I was very surprised the very first time, the very first meet. I was honestly just wanting to clear bar because I hadn't jumped in so long. I just felt really rusty. I wasn't feeling very confident at all. And so I was just hoping to at least clear a bar. That was my goal, and so I was very happy.
Katie, what does it mean for you to have all the success both on volleyball and track now for this final senior year?
Yeah, it means a lot. I mean, just with volleyball, and track and field, I can't even explain it to you. I get to experience things that in just one sport that most Division I athletes will never ever get to experience. So I'm very grateful for both.
Coach, what's it like working with Katie, and what makes her so successful in what she does?
Working with Katie, it's fun, it's easy, it's simple. When she started this year, we were jumping on a basketball floor in trainers, so it was the first time that we really trained together, and it was like, okay, Katie, let me just see what you do. And I guess lucky for me, I said, okay, this is what I see and this is what I see. She said, yep, those are the problems I have. Okay, well, if those are the two things that we have to look at right now, those are the two things that we're going to focus on. And with Katie, I think the more she has played volleyball, it has helped her a lot in her high jumping, because I see Katie can make a lot of adjustments that a lot of high jumpers cannot make at the meet or even during the approach, because she is so used to making those little fine adjustments in volleyball. We've had a great setter in volleyball, but it's not always the exact same place at the exact same height every time, so she has to make those little adjustments in volleyball. So when she's coming to the bar, if she realizes, uh-oh, I need to get that shoulder turned a little bit more or a foot turned a little bit more, she has no problem with that adjustment, whereas a lot of high jumpers, you get them off a little bit and it's a panic time. But with Katie, it's just, oh, well, I'll just do this to compensate. And really sometimes I feel like I'm just the driver to make sure she gets to the meet on time. We work on the technique, but it's so easy working with Katie. You know, we're down to about 2 things that we work on at a practice, and she's like, okay, I can do that. And it's great, and it's just a testament to who Katie is.
Coach, you're talking about it with Katie right now. How much does that impact of having 2 sports make with that when it comes to coaching her?
It's really not, oh, I'm going to regret saying this, but it makes it much easier for me that she's in another sport, because I don't have to worry about what she's doing on all those other days, because we can only jump 1 or 2 days a week. That's all that the body's really going to do, because our jumping is obviously a lot different than the volleyball jumping. But we can only jump 1 or 2 days a week. So the other days, if Katie was with us all the time, I would have to find ways to do her sprint training, do her plyo training, do her lift training, and do all those things. But since she's in volleyball, since she's in volleyball, that sounded good. Since she's in another sport, I don't have to worry about those other days. I know she's working, I know she's training, I know she's getting ground contacts that she needs. So really it's great for me because I just have her on her technical days and they take care of all the other days. So as long as a bunch of people don't get ideas about that, but it's really simple because she has a great staff that works with her. I don't have to worry about the rest of the week with her. So it's jump 1 or 2 technical days, get her to the meet. How do you feel? Feel good? Where do we want to enter? We'll enter here and we go. And the other thing about Katie, I want to say this, is not all athletes in my sport have this ability. Katie has a very, very short memory in terms of competition. So if she has a bad jump, if she does something wrong on one jump, she doesn't carry that to her next jump. Her next jump is a brand new jump. She executes it the way she's supposed to. And a lot of athletes remember that last bad throw or that bad jump or that bad race. Katie, none of that. She's like, well, that one's over. All right, we'll go do it again. And it's fantastic. So if we have to clear the bar on the second jump or third jump, it's, at least she seems like there's no stress to it. So it makes my life a lot easier to coach her.
What are kind of the plans between this point now and the time that she jumps? In terms of training and schedule-wise, getting there?
Well, she'll be with volleyball until we'll leave on Thursday morning. Wednesday afternoon, we're still trying to decide if we're going to do a jump session, or I think we're going to do it Thursday when we get down to Birmingham so she can be on the surface. We'll have one more light jump session between now and then. Beyond that, it's Katie, stay happy, Katie, stay healthy, and roll in there with fresh legs, because that's all she needs.
Katie, do you have a mark in mind that you're hoping to hit, that goal set, and how much can this meet kind of help you for spring and moving forward in your athletic career?
I think there's not a specific mark. I mean, I'm obviously always trying to PR if I can, but I don't necessarily, that's not necessarily my mindset. I almost feel like that puts pressure on me in a way, like, oh, I have to get this mark, I have to get this mark. I'm just trying to do the best I can that day and just make adjustments along the way. That's kind of my goal. But of course I want to PR if I can. That's always the goal. And what was your second question?
How does this kind of help you moving forward into outdoor and volleyball the rest of your time at Western?
Yeah, I've never jumped this high in indoor season. Usually indoor, I'm just trying to get back into it, and so I think it's going to really help me with outdoor because I'm already jumping heights that I haven't even jumped really in an outdoor season before, in college anyway. So I think it's really going to help me just to transfer and be more prepared than I usually am in outdoor season. And with volleyball, there's a lot of parallels. So I think they always help each other moving forward, and they're going to continue to.
Coach, Katie's just one of I believe, 8 female indoor NCAA participants since 2000. First since 2016, I think, and one of only 2 in field events. That on top of everything she's done in volleyball individually and as a team, I guess, how do you think she stacks up, in the history of Western sports, in terms of the overall, great athletes?
Well, I mean, for me, if she's not on the Hall of Fame wall in a little while, I think it's not fair, because it's so hard to excel at the Division I level in one sport. Ask any student athlete here and they'll tell you how hard it can be. But to be at the level she is in 2 sports, even though there are some parallels for her, there are a whole lot of girls in the country that wish they could jump the way Katie does. So is she one of the best athletes ever to come through here? Absolutely. I mean, usually gone are the days of the 2-sport, 3-sport athlete, things like this, but Katie is so special that she can do both of those. She's a Hall of Fame student athlete now. Don't want to get her too much ego before the championship, but I mean, she is. She'll be an All-American in track and field this year, and she's got a lot of chances. I know she and I talked just a little bit the other day about she will probably qualify for USA Outdoor Championships in track and field if she decides she wanted to go that way. She may not, and that's totally up to her, but she is certainly one of the premier athletes in the NCAA right now and in the history of Western Kentucky.
Anything else for this, Jim?
Katie, one more question for you. I mean, you have Travis right there, so I don't know if you want to answer this, but better feeling knowing that you're going to the NCAA volleyball tournament or knowing you're going to track and field?
Oh my gosh.
He doesn't mind that I'm sitting here.
Well, it's recency bias, so.
It's okay.
I don't think I can answer that question. No, I mean, it's such an honor to go to either one. I think I'm going to be grateful no matter what, so, yeah.
Good answer.
Yeah, political answer.